Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a big old book haul. I've got 11 books here that I've recently purchased. It's very heavy. Oh my. Yeah, so I wanted to share with you guys what I picked up and why. I do have a second chapter crate coming, but it hasn't shipped yet. Today is October 26th, and I also want to film my November TBR today, so I want to get these books on the shelf to, read them. Get them in my TBR for November if I can. So that's what we're gonna do today. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Places I order from Book Outlet. If you don't know Book Outlet, I'll leave a link down below, and also from Amazon. Which books came from which, I don't know, because I've already opened them packages, obviously. So the first book, I've actually read this one. This is the first one. This is the only one that one is a book I already owned, but we'll get to that. But I did read this book in the month of October. This is Rule of the Aurora King. I believe this is the second book in the Trial of the Sun Queen. I think there's going to be 4. The next one comes out in November 26th. But yeah, it was really good. 4.5 stars. Loved it. I gave 5 stars to the Trial of the Sun Queen. So yeah, I already bought that. So I obviously bought it because I wanted to read the next one. I didn't even read this copy though, I'll be honest. I read it on Kindle Unlimited because I couldn't wait to get the book to actually read it. So the next book is something I have already read. However, this is my copy of it. It's not readable anymore. It's time to let this one go, unfortunately. But this is my old copy, and this is my new copy of Slaughterhouse V by Kurt Vonnegut. I've been saying this is my favorite book for like basically my entire life. Well, since I read it in high school, which is half my life. And I don't remember. I'm like, is that my favorite book? Like, I need to read it again. Now that I'm like really reading a ton, like I've always been a reader. I've always read, maybe 10 or 12 books a year, but nothing like I'm doing now, reading like 10 books a month. But I need to read it again because I'm like, is it my favorite book? I don't know. So yeah, that's the next one that I got. Next I decided to pick up this. If you have been watching any of my videos, you know, I'm not a huge romance reader. I love fantasy. I love sci-fi. I love some literary fiction. Yeah, that's kind of like my comfort zone. Romance, I find them mostly cheesy. I think they're just not that good. Or it's just unnecessary spice. It's like spice for spice's sake. And if that's your thing, great. I am very happy for you. Whenever I see a romance that I'm like, I actually think I would like that, I do buy it, just because romance is good to break up some of the more like heavier subject matter that I sometimes read. Not heavy subject matter, but like really high fantasy stuff that you got to focus on. And I find fantasy reads just to be a little bit easier to read and like speed read kind of thing. But I decided to grab this one. This is Love of My Afterlife. This is by Christy Greenwood, by the way, and Rule of Aurora King is Nisha J. Tooley. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think she's an Indian writer, and so good. I can't wait to see what else she has written after I read the next one. Okay, this is by Christy Greenwood. This, I believe, is about a girl who dies, and in the afterlife, like waiting room, I guess you would call it, she meets the love of her life. But he gets like swept back because he's not actually supposed to be dead. So she makes a deal. I don't know what the deal is for, but she has 7 days maybe to go back, or 5 days. I don't know what the time period is, but she gets to go back and see if she can meet him in real life. And if she does, she gets to stay alive. And if she doesn't, she has to go back to dead. I thought that sounded really interesting. I love a good magical realism. So I decided to, pick this one up. It's not super long. It's 350 pages. I feel like I could probably fly through this, but it does seem like a story I might like. So yeah, I don't know if there's smut. I don't know anything about this book really, just the premise. And I do like, if I hear of a romance book that I really want to read, I'll just get it. But most romance books I'm not like, because usually I don't like them. I do have quite a few romances down here as well. I have not read any of them, but whenever one like piques my interest, I'll get it. Okay, next is another romance book. Actually, this might be the only other romance book. Yeah, I think so. But this is Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle. Annabelle Monaghan. Is this published this year? Because it's a hardcover. I would assume 2022. Okay, so no. I got this one off of Book Outlet, and usually the ones that you get on Book Outlet are hardcovers because they're like ones that people aren't buying, and probably because they're buying the paperbacks. But this is about a woman who gets divorced, and she writes a screenplay about her divorce, and then it gets picked up, and they're going to make a movie out of it, and a famous movie actor is going to play her ex-husband, and they do it in her house, so they meet, and it's a love story about that. So I thought it sounded interesting. I don't know when and if I'll ever read that, but I did buy it. Okay, next, we're getting into the stuff I definitely am excited about. Not that I'm not excited about those books, but you know what I mean. This is How to Lose a Time War by Amal A. Mahater. I'm so sorry. Actually, wait, is this? That's so funny. This is blurbed by Max Gladstone. No, is he just the editor, or is there two authors? Not sure. But I don't really know anything about this, but I've heard really good things about it. It's a shorter read as well, which I appreciate. In the ashes of a dying world, Red finds a letter marked "Burn before reading." So begins an unlikely correspondence between two rival agents in a war that stretches through the vast reaches of time and space. Sold. So I'm pretty excited to read this. It's pretty short, but hopefully I like it. Okay, next. I ordered this one accidentally because I thought that it was this book, but it was this book. So it's actually my first graphic novel. This is the Slaughterhouse V graphic novel that, of course, I'm going to read this one first and then maybe read this one. Maybe not right after, or maybe right after. Who knows? Depends on what I'm feeling. But yeah, it's a graphic novel. I didn't know that it was when I ordered it. This one I also got off of Book Outlet. And then I was like, oh, well, now I guess I have to order this one from Amazon. So yeah, we got that. Next is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I hope I like this. It's very cute. Like the cover is super cute. I'm hoping that I like it. It's about like two rival like people in the fairy study world. I think she's human. A curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic, friendship, and love in the start of a heartwarming and enchanting new fantasy series. This isn't like necessarily something I'm like gonna be like, yeah, I want to read that right now, but people have been talking about it a lot, so I decided to grab it. And I know it is like one of the top books of previous years, so it should be good, right? I'm also gonna be starting my Brandon Sanderson journey. We went with Mistborn. He says you should read Mistborn first, so I got it. This is like an epic high fantasy world, and I'm just going to read it in the order in which Brandon Sanderson says you should. So, the mist ruled the night, the Lord ruler owns the world. Once a hero arose to save the world, he failed. And since the world has been a wasteland of ash and mist controlled by the immortal emperor known as the Lord Ruler. But hope survives. A new uprising is forming, one built around the ultimate caper, the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind, the determination of an unlikely heroine, a street urchin who must learn to master the power of a Mistborn. So I think Mistborns are people with magic, and then I think there's people without magic in this world. So she's a chunker, and the words are quite small, but this is definitely something I want to get into. Definitely want to start that this like fall winter, maybe this month, who knows. Next, I have two books. Actually, I have another Brandon Sanderson one. This is Skyward. This is, I believe, a completely different world. Why I got both of them, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's a completely different world. If I find out that it's not, then I will stop reading this and read it later, if it gets picked. Spence's world has been under attack for decades. New pilots are the heroes, what's left of the human race. And becoming one has always been Spence's dream, so she wants to be a pilot. But her fate is intertwined with that of her father, a pilot himself, who was killed years ago when he abruptly deserted his team, leaving Spence's chances of attending flight school at slim to none. So this doesn't really seem like it's the same world. This seems more like maybe science fiction-y. Cool. Okay. Next, and the last two books are from my main man. I'm actually not a huge fan of his books because I'm not into like horror, really. I get scared. But I picked up Billy Summers by Stephen King. I'm from Maine. He's from Maine. I've met him. He's actually so nice. He used to come to college football games. So I went to UMaine, and he lives just like a town over. His house is super creepy. But not that I haven't been to his house, but you can, you can drive by it. But anyway, yeah, I decided to go with Billy Summers. It's not a horror, and the other one is not a horror either. I'm not really like, I've read quite a few of his books because we had to read them in school all the time, which was weird. But it's like main author, so you have to read it, you know. But this is about a serial killer who kills bad people. And that's really all I know. Chances are, if you're a target of Billy Summers' 2 immutable truths apply. You'll never even know what hit you, and you're really getting what you deserve. That's just the first like blurb on here, so excited to read it because I want to support, you know, my fellow Mainer, but I don't think he needs my support. But I'm not like into his books because I'm scared. I get scared too easy. I read a horror last month, and it was creepy, and it made me scared. And then the last book I picked up was Fairy Tale, because this is obviously a fantasy novel also by Stephen King. And it's about a boy who gets like left a house or something like that. Yeah, like this guy dies and he inherits his house, but then he realizes there's like a portal to another world. That's my understanding. No idea if that's correct. But those are the books that I picked up in the past month. I am putting myself on a book buying ban. Of course, I do have a next chapter crate or second chapter crate coming, and I think I ordered 10, and then I'm going to cancel it or pause it so that I don't get another 10 books because I can't fit 10 more books. There's 3 shelves all filled. So anyway, that is the books that I picked up. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know, have you read any of these? What should I be putting on the top of my list? And I will see you guys in the next one. Yeah, bye.